Hey gang, Will here from the Afs Salmonfly Shop. It is the 1st of June. It is salmon fly time in the Rogue Valley. We look forward to it every year. We've got some bugs out, and the next 2 weeks, 15 days is really going to be like a real peak time for it. So we want to talk to you a little bit. We usually do kind of an overview, and that's what we're doing now. So we're going to talk about these bugs and the best way to give yourself the most opportunities for success for the salmon fly hatch. All right, so we really just want to start at the end, start with flies. So that's where we're going to start here. Flies for the upper rogue salmon fly hatch and salmon fly hatches in general, I would say, you really want a few different classes of bugs, I would say. First and foremost is the chubby Chernobyl. It comes in several varieties. You want them in size 6s and 8s, maybe 10s. This is a fly that really crosses over between a real natural looking bug and more of an impressionistic bug. Chubby Chernobyl, gold, purple, Terra Narcissus we like, and this is the chubby Norm. This is a really good one. It hits the water, it splays out kind of, and the trout just love this thing, man, for better or worse. The chubby Chernobyl is really good. The way it rides on the water, it's visible for miles and miles. It's really good fly. So again, having a mix of flies I think is really important. So the chubby sort of sits between a foam bug and like a hairwing bug. So let's look at a hairwing bug. This would be the Normwood Special here. Now this is a lighter fly, a lot like a stimulator, but boy, the fish love this fly too. It's a great salmon fly imitation. Comes in 6s and 8s, and it's just awesome. It's gonna really light on the water like a Clark stone, which is another good one. Very slim profile, very natural looking, so that's a really excellent bug. And then let's talk about your splatters. So we've got Rio's Juicy Stone here. This is a big foam profile underneath. This thing's going to hit the water hard. It's going to make a disturbance, and I think that can be important at times during the hatch as well. A fly that just hits the water hard and gets the fish looking at it right away. It's foam. It's going to float high. It's got a nice wing on it. So those are really good. I've got another skittering salmon fly here that has a foam body but a nice deer hair wing to it. That's going to sort of skitter around on the surface a little bit. That's a very, very good one too. So what I really want to say about choosing salmon flies is you want to have a few different bugs that present in a few different ways. Some that are just great dead drifted, some that can skitter around. But you really want a different look at the fish, especially if you're fishing the holy water where you can't move around a lot, because there's people up there, but if you're showing the same fish flies over and over, you want to mix that up. You want to mix it up. You want to show them something a little bit different that they haven't seen. But I also think it's important just everywhere to mix that up as well and have some different flies to show them. So that's what we're looking at for flies. We have lots of choices here at the shop, but having a few different ones, like I'd never sell anyone 6 different colors of chubbies. I would sell them 2 of each of these different classes of flies so that the fish can see, can see something different. Another really important thing that we see a lot of people that haven't fished this hatch much make this mistake is you want to start with at least a 3X leader. Now we like the shorter leaders, 7.5 feet. Starting at 3X, which is 8-pound break. These fish just hammer these flies. They hit them hard, they pull hard, and if you're fishing 5X, you are going to be losing flies. They're going to break you off a lot. So even 2X is not out of the question, 10-pound. They're not really leader shy, especially in the beginning. What they really want to see is the presentation of that fly. If you present that fly in the right way at the right time for that fish, it's going to smash it. And if you're fishing 5X, you're going to lose it. Okay, so moving on, another extremely important piece of the salmon fly hatch is your floatant selection. We have a bunch of different floatants here from Umpqua Loon, Umpqua Shimazaki, and a few different types. The most simple one we sell a ton of is the Luna Quell. This is a You know, this is not, it's not really a gel, but it's kind of a light solution, and it goes in really nice. You want to put about a dime size in the palm of your hand, work it into your fingers, and then just work it into the fly like that. Work it into the foam, work it all into the fly, get it kind of ginked up like that. And that's kind of your first treatment. That'll take you a while, but as you catch a fish here and there, that fish is going to take the fly down, or if you're fishing heavy water, and your fly is going to get pretty saturated. At that point, you want to shake it off. You might cast it a few times, shake it off, and then you want to switch to your dry powders. Now we have Shimazaki, which is a classic, really good stuff, or we have the Loon Top Ride, which is also really popular. At this point, you get as much water out of the fly as you can. Then you dip the fly literally into the container, shake it up like that, and it puts that desiccant around the fly, and boom, your fly's floating high and dry. So either of those are really good, and that's going to be what you're going to use for the remainder of the day. You're going to keep hitting that fly with shake, keep it floating high. My experience is that fish on salmon flies really looking for them floating high. The less fly you can show them in the water, the better. You know, that profile is just enough. But if, you know, they see that profile, just what they want to see, a lot of times they come after it. A couple other ones that are worth mentioning are the fly dip. This is a really good solution from Umpqua. Loon makes one as well. And that's where you submerge it, shake off the excess, and it keeps it floating nice and high too. And this, more of a gel from Umpqua. I love this stuff. It's almost like a mixture of these two things, and it really, really works good. It's almost like a gel type of a thickness, and it does a great job on the salmon flies. So yeah, so there you go. That's kind of the quick and dirty about how to prepare yourself for the salmon fly hatch, and choosing flies, choosing leaders, choosing desiccants. Those three things as your terminal tackle are extremely important, and we hope that helps to bring you great success. Good luck.